I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje Juda Soge Chonam La Chanju Bardo Dane Gyatso Che Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjere Sanje Jubarai Sho Sanje Juda Soge Chonam La Chanju Bardo Dane Gyatso Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Benjere Sanje Jubara Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Benjere Sanje Jubara Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesva Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesvaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessational causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, so this morning I think I would to give a clean completion to the emptiness part, we'll do the entities and oscillates and positive and negative phenomena, and then dependent origination and cognitive obscuration. Just see, let's finish this up in this session. First, entities and oscillates. The concept of the entities and oscillates, and the concept of the positive and the negative phenomena. If we don't understand these two concepts well, then our understanding of emptiness can be very, very shallow, and particularly after learning this, when you start meditating on this, you can feel the haziness. But emptiness meditation, you will feel haziness if these concepts are not too clear. The clarity, the haziness will come. So to give the clarity, these concepts are very important. The entities and isolates on the one hand, and positive and negative phenomena on the other hand, these two concepts. Okay, first, entities and isolates. So let's say that my question to you is let's say that maybe it's this bit better. So let's say, in my left hand, how many things are there? Nothing is there. Okay, now let me see. How many things are there? One thing. What is that? A book, notebook. Let's say a notebook. Okay, particularly those of you who are the seniors, and of course we need to think of learning how to articulate the concepts so that the people you are sharing with, they can understand something. But I heard that the group discussions, some of the seniors, they said that we are trying to say the same thing as you are saying, but then people are not convinced. Okay, so there we need. So this is where, okay, the okay. I don't mean to say that I'm so good at it. The thing is that it's many years of what I learned from His Holiness, what I learned from my teachers, very nuances. There's no way of teaching these. These are things that you have to learn from the nuances. Okay. So what I'm saying is that for the newcomers, of course, you have to pay interest to this, not interest, pay attention to this. This is very important concepts, and you will see that if you know these two concepts, whatever you're doing. For example, I came to learn that people, you have different the professions. You have different professionals. So in your profession, whatever the profession that you're following, and these concepts will be extremely useful. For example, like teaching, and even say conversation like trainer, or like the sea learning trainers. So whatever you're doing, medical, or the say medical doctor as a dentist, or if I may ask Verma.
Okay, chef.
Oh, chef. Oh, interesting. Spain? I'll come to Spain. Some people, they said Geshe-la is foodie. I'm not foodie. So the person who described me foodie, most likely doesn't know the meaning foodie. But I'm somebody who's eager to know, say, the skills, like football, music, painting, yoga. People have their own skills. For example, like chef or the teachers. People have their own unique skills, and the one person cannot acquire. So I really appreciate these skills. For example, like the dentists, how they would do it. So all these things, the paintings, what are unique things, the lawyers, how they defend hey lawyer, Matri. So how you defend your, what do you call it? Your client. So how they speak, all the skills. I'm very curious. With the food, even the food, how the chefs, they do it, the skills. So in whatever profession that you're following, these concepts will be very useful. Very useful. After all, how many agree with me that when you sit with somebody, even though you have nothing to do with philosophy, when you sit with somebody, 2 or 3 people, and if it is a quite a good meeting meaning meeting of decent people, then eventually your talk will slide down into philosophy. Some kind of philosophy or psychology. Somehow it goes down into this. You agree? It does happen. So then you see that they say these two concepts can help us tease apart many nuances very easily. So in fact, there's one girl who is naturally very intelligent. And when she learned these concepts, she was so amazed. Now it makes things so easy. This concept, I can use it in my own discipline very easily, where many of the questions which remain hazy are very cleared away. Okay, so this would be very helpful. Entities and isolates. So what I'm saying is that, let's say, how many things are there? We say one, what is that? The book. My question to you is, so the book is there? Yes. The color of the book is also there in my hand. Color of the book, is it? Particularly, I would say those who are new to this concept. Color of the book is also in my hand. Yes? And the color of the book and the book, are these two one or different? Those people who are new. Colored book and the book, are these two one or different? Shobit.
Because color book is intrinsic to the...
It's not my question. Are these one or different? As simple as that. Is this one or not? Symbol.
It is.
It's one. Okay. If it's one, then when the color disappears, the book should disappear. If these two are one. If these two are one.
Yeah, that is not one.
So therefore it's not one. You getting it? So in a way, the Shobit's approach, this extremely good approach, where you speak what you think, and then your thinking can grow. Meanwhile, the other person asks you a question, asks you a question, and you get stuck. Be flexible to change your standpoint. When you change your standpoint, you are actually growing. Why you change your standpoint? Because you see a flaw in your earlier standpoint. You're getting it? This is how you should enjoy philosophy. Whereas if you speak from surface without your conviction, you will never grow. So you have to speak what do you feel. And then, of course, the other person should also ask the correct question. If not, then it's just becoming so messy on both sides. So what we said is that this is a book. And also the color of the book. So we said, what we said is there's one thing. Then I asked, what is that one thing? You said, it's a book. Then I asked, the color of the book, is it there? You said, yes. Color of the book and the book, are these two one or different? Maya?
They're different.
They're different. Different means more than one. You agree? Different means more than one. More than one. Two or more. So in a way you are saying it's not one. There is more than one in my hand. Okay. Now, if you say that there's more than one in my hand, ordinary people, keep this in mind, ordinary people will see that, what is this? It's crazy. There's only one thing. And she's saying there are more than one. Right? And say, a shekel. What is shekel?
It's a type of currency.
Currency, yes. Israeli currency, shekel. What is the smallest note? 10 shekel? 1 shekel?
The note 20.
Yeah. One shekel.
1 shekel is the coin.
10?
20.
Huh? 20. 20 shekel note. I give you 20 shekel note. Okay. How many notes are there? 1 or 2 or 3?
1.
1. You said 1, not more than 1. What's that?
That's the entity.
That is the 20 shekel note. You're getting it? One note. So let's say this is Dorji's 20 shekel. Dorji's 20 shekel and 20 shekel. Are those two one or different? Dorji means me. I.
Yeah.
My 20 shekel note and 20 shekel note. These two one or different?
It's different.
Different means I give you 2 notes. Huh? If you say 2 notes, which means you should be getting 40 shekels. Yeah, and then I say impermanent 20 shekel note. This is also different. Then 60 shekels. You getting it? Okay, these are the contradictions. And if you say that no, it's just, they're all one, it's contradictory. Because wherever there's a 20 shekel note, you should be able to see Dorji's 20 shekel note. This is contradictory. So how do you resolve this issue? How many of you understood this problem? Raise hands. How many understood the problem? This problem is quite a serious problem. If I give you, okay, let's say, instead of shekel, let's say $1 is easier. Many countries they use the word dollar. Singapore dollar, Malaysian?
Ringgit.
Ringgit. And England, pound, Australian, dollar. Okay, let's say dollar. Dollar is more commonly used. Let's say $10 note. $10 note. So, how many notes are there? Hey, how many notes are there? Well, let me ask Anna. I give you $10 note. So, how many notes are there? 1. What is that?
$1.
$10. Okay, she's smart. She gets $10 and said, I got only $1. Okay, so you got $1 note. Did you get Dorji's $1 note? $10 note. Did you get Dorji's $10 note? Dorji's $10 note and $10 notes. Are these one or different?
I would say they are the same.
The same. Okay, wherever there's $10 note, is Dorji's $10 note, is it?
The one you gave me?
No.
Another one.
I'm giving you $10 note or no? Yes. Yes. $10 note I give you. I'm also giving you Dorji's $10 note. I'm also giving you impermanent Dorji's $10 note. Are they one or different?
Different.
Huh? Different. So you got three notes. So 10 into 3 is 30. You got $30.
Nine.
No. How much you got? Only one. $10. So there's only one note, not three. Which you got? Which of the three you got?
The three of them are into one.
Okay, which of the three you got? $10 note, or you got Dorji's $10 note, or you got the impermanent Dorji's $10 note? Which did you get? All three. These three are one or different?
I would say three characteristics.
No, are these three one or different? Simple, one or not? One means wherever there's $10 note, Dorji's $10 note is there. Is what I'm saying? Oh, so everybody has Dorji's $10 notes. These are the contradictions. You're getting it? How to resolve this contradiction? If you say that no, this is just one, this is a problem. If you say different, this is a contradiction. How to resolve this complication? This problem will be resolved only if you understand the concept known as entities and isolates. You're getting it? Entities and isolates. How to resolve this problem? Let's say the book and the color of the book. Entities. What does mean by entities? Go to the object. What do you mean by isolate? Go to the subject. Subject means your mind. First go to the object, entities. Okay, now first let us go to the entities. How do you go to the entities? By going to the object, pointing to the object, not pointing to the subject. You getting it? Pointing to the object. Okay, let's say I go to the point of the object. Now we're looking for the entities. And you say, where's the book? I say, this is a book. Correct, not correct? Correct. I point to the object to subject. To the object, which means looking for the entities or isolates. Entities. Okay, now you ask me, where is the color of the book? Where's the color of the book? I said, here's the color of the book. Correct, not correct? Correct. So, I pointed to the same object. I can point to the same object for the reference of the two different labels. Let me repeat it. I pointed to the same object for the reference of two different labels, the book and the color of the book. These two are two different labels or same label? The book and the color of the book. These two are same label or different labels? Different labels. They are different labels, but what they refer to, I can point to the same object. Whereas the book is here. Whereas the color book is here. Correct? So I can point to the same object for the reference of the two different labels. So therefore, these two objects meaning the book and the color of the book, these two are same entity. Same entity because I can point to the entity-wise, these two are same. Because I can point to the same object for the reference of the two labels. For the reference of the two labels, we can point to the same object. So when you go to the point to the object, it's just one. So we say the two are same entity. You getting it? Now, so how many understood this? Okay, same table and the pillar. Same entity, different entities. Different entities, because you have to point to two different objects. This is table, that is pillar. I have to point to two different objects, so therefore these two are the different entities. Okay, now you want to learn what? Isolates. Isolate means don't go to the object, go to the subject. How do you go? Okay, so for this easier would be the table and the top plank of the table. You're getting it? table and the top line of the table. That will be easier. Then you can do with the other things like book, the color of the book, the flower, the color of the flower, and so forth. Okay. Now for the table and top line of the table. Okay. First, let's see table and top line of the table. You ask me, where is the table? It's here. This is the table, correct? This is the table, correct? And you ask me, where is the top plank of the table? I said, this is the top plank of the table, correct? Not correct? So I pointed to the same object for the reference of the two different labels. The table and the top plank table, I can point to the same object. I can. I don't have to. I can. For example, with the table, I can point to leg. This table is correct. With top line, I can point to two different things, but I can point to the same object for the reference of two different labels. This is table, this is top line of the table. So table and top line table, these two are entity-wise one or different. Hey, huh? Entity-wise one or different table and top line of table. Entity-wise one, very good. Okay, now we go to check what? Isolates. How do you do that? Go to the subject, don't go to the object. How do you go to the subject? Okay, what you do is close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of the table in front of me. Think of the table in front of me. Good. Now, think of the top plank of the table in front of me. Think of the top plank of the table in front of me. Okay, now open your eyes. Okay. In the first case, when you think of the table. In the second case, when you think of the top line of the table and the top line of the table in your mind, subject, not was object, in your mind, these two appeared as same or these two appeared as different? Okay, raise hands those who said these two appear as different. Raise hands. Okay. Let's say Libang. How did they appear as different? In what way the two appear as different?
So when I think of the table, it's the plank plus the legs. So it's just the top plank, it's just the top plank without the legs.
Okay, how many agree with Lebang? Raise hands. In your mind, in your subjective mind, the table, when you think of the table, it appears with the top plank, with the legs. Whereas when I think of the top plank, it's just the top flat plank, that's it, without the legs. So they appear as different. You getting it? So they appear as different to your mind, subjective mind. So in your subjective mind, the two appear as different. So what appears as different to a subjective mind is known as isolated-wise different. What appears as different to your mind, subjective mind, is known as isolated-wise different. You getting it? Okay, so the table and the top line table, these two are isolated-wise one or different. Table and top line of table, isolated-wise one or different. Huh? They are different. Very good. These two are isolated-wise different. Okay, now tell me, the book and the flower, these two are entity-wise one or different? Entity-wise different, isolated-wise one different. Book and the flower, isolated-wise different. How? Entity-wise they are different. Look, Laksharaj, right? His confidence shook when my face changed. Don't trust my face. You're going to maintain your confidence. Maintain confidence. What you said is correct. What you said is correct. Maintain your confidence. Don't trust my face. You're going to get. Okay, maintain your confidence. Okay. So the book and the pillar, these two are entity-wise one or different? Different. Entity-wise? Different. Isolated-wise? Different. Very good. Okay. The water and pillar, Entity was one different. Isolated wasn't different. Water and chew. Entity was one different. Huh? Water and chew. Huh? The Saris, what is chew? Without knowing what is chew, you cannot talk about entity was one different. You're getting it? And then you're groping the dark. So you have to ask, what is chew? Chew means water. Chew is the Tibetan word for water. So water and chew, are these two entity was one and different? Entity was one. Isolated wise? Ah. Okay, now Laksh is very comfortable. Yes, is one. Okay, good. Okay, now let us do some more exercise. Ready? Yes.
I have a doubt. What would you say if it's
Okay, just wait. Just let us finish this so that we will have the whole skeleton done. Then the question will come later. Good. Okay, first let us do some exercise. Give me an example of what is entity-wise one, entity-wise different, isolated-wise different. Give an example of, say, entity-wise different, isolated-wise different. Entity-wise different, isolated-wise different. Oh, you're Sadhist expert, I know. Entity-wise different, isolated-wise different. Yes, Lakshraj.
Table and the cushion.
Table and the cushion. Table and cushion. Isolated-wise different, entity-wise different. How many you agree with Lakshraj? Okay, let's say some people use the cushion as a table also. You know that? Some people use the cushions as a chair also. Look at this. Right? And some people use cushion as table. So sometimes when you don't have a table, they use the cushions and they use a table. But what he said is correct. Good. Now, can you give me an example of what is entity-wise one, isolated-wise one? Give me an example of entity-wise one, isolated-wise one.
water and ice?
Water and ice. Okay, water, is it ice? Water, is it ice? No. Which means the isolated wise, water and ice, they appear different. Okay, so there's no isolated wise one. Can you give an example? Yes, Nivita.
A Kia scarf and a Kia scarf. A Kia scarf and a Kia scarf. Her scarf and her scarf.
Scarf and scarf. Scarf. Scarf and scarf. Okay, and it was one different. Scarf and scarf. And your scarf, my scarf.
Her scarf and her scarf.
Her scarf and her scarf.
And her scarf.
Okay, the Akia scarf and Lohena scarf.
No, both her scarf.
So they're two hers.
Like the same scarf.
Huh? Okay, the scarf produced from the same company.
No, just her scarf, both hands.
Just say Akia scarf and Akia scarf. It makes it easy. Oh, her. There are too many hers. Okay. So, Akia scarf and today's Akia scarf and yesterday Akia scarf. No. Okay. Right now. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Yes. Next. Can you think of, give an example of the entity-wise one, isolated-wise different? Quick. Tanya? Or Alexandra? Entity-wise one, isolated-wise different. Alexandra, can you give an example?
Glasses and black glasses.
Glasses and the black. Okay. The black glass and the blackness of the glass. The glass and the blackness of the glass. Is what I'm saying? Color of the glass. Okay. The glass, the pair of glasses, and the color of the glasses. Okay, these two are entities was one, otherwise different. Yes, no? Agree, raise hands? Okay, very good. Alexander, thank you. Okay. Our lawyer, Mitri.
Book and pages of the book.
Book and the pages of the book. These two are entities was one. Yes, agree? And the page of the book, these two, the book and the page of the book, and the answer was different. Raise hands. You agree? Good. Now, can you give an example of isolate was one, entity was different? Give an example. Raise hands. Raise your hands. Loena? Entity was isolate was one, entity was different.
One and different, so a house and the roof of the house.
Isolate was one, entity was different. What you given the example that you gave is entity was one, isolate was different. The answer that I'm looking for is isolate was one, entity was different. Can you give me an example? Okay, the Shobit?
Mind and body.
Mind and body. Okay, amazing. Very good. Anyone else? Raise hands. Raise hands. Raise hands. No one. Yes, Stefan.
Red book and red pillow.
Red book and red pillow. Okay, these two answer was one and it was different. Very good. Anyone else? And the Sadivisha? Okay, same thing. Would you give another example? Red car and white. Red car and white car. Okay, very good. Okay, but now Maya.
This red car, white car, entity was.
My question is, can you give an example of what is isolate was one and it was different?
Glass door and glass window.
Glass door and glass window. Amazing. Very good. Miral?
Red apple, red book.
Red apple and red book. Very good. Okay, let's say Doris.
I was not here.
Okay. Then Chris.
The speed of a car moving at 100 miles an hour and the speed of a motorbike moving at 100 miles an hour.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's say Gabriel. Gabriel? Same. Can you give an example? Okay, Gagan?
Actually, I'm not sure because it's how can there be two isolated, like
No, one isolate, different entities.
different entities? But how can that be? Isn't there has to be something dependent?
This is what I'm saying. There's one isolate with different entities. Okay, Gagan may be finding it a little difficult. Okay, let's say DT.
Can it be a tree and the branches and leaves along together as a tree?
Okay, the tree and the branches. Okay, I'm so glad.
Native of these two books.
Okay, so two books from the same company, right? Okay, so these two. I'm so glad. Usually in the retreats, we get only examples of 2, 3, 2, 3. Here, there are many examples coming up, but the Buddha never found such example. Buddha never found such an example, but here, you find there are many, many examples. That's amazing. Buddha said that there's no example. I've never found it. He's the omniscient one. He never found any example what is entity Asura was one and it was different. He never found one. But if you really want that example, you have to come to Bodhgaya with this group. Usually we get only 1 or 2 examples. So here there are many examples. Over there, yes, Aditi.
Usually, can we say emptiness of Buddha's mind? Because then there are emanations.
So you have to identify two things. Asura was one, entity was two. Tell me.
Two different emanations.
Two different emanations of same Buddha. Right? So this so while I'm saying that Buddha never found it, she found it again. That's amazing. She's trying, yeah. She's trying to create something which Buddha did not find. Now the Aditi is trying to create one. Okay. In other words, what is entity-wise one can never be isolated. So what is isolated-wise one can never be entity-wise different. So what Gagan said, he said that no, it's not something possible. He's saying this, but he's not sure. Intuitively, he's getting something. In other words, what is isolated-wise one is always entity-wise one. You can never have isolated-wise one, entity-wise different. If there is something isolated-wise one, it should necessarily be entity-wise one. You getting it? There is never isolated-wise one, entity-wise different. Okay. So, with this mind, what we learn is that now, say you, for the time being, you just think of this. The relationship between the parts and the whole. For example, we say the table and the top line of the table. What's the relationship? Entity-wise? Table and top line of the table. Entity-wise? One. Isolated-wise? Different. Okay, so table is the whole and the top line is a part. So relationship in part and whole is always entity-wise one, isolated-wise different. Don't forget it. You getting it? Okay, so this is what we learned about the entities and isolates. Now, with the table, top line of the table is the isolate of the table. So these two are different isolates. So table, how many isolates can the table have? Top line of the table, Lohena? A lot. How many agree with Lohena resents? One table, one object can have innumerable isolates. For example, like the table, top line of the table, color of the table, shape of the table not being a flower is also isolated of the table. Table not being permanent, table not being impermanent. What is that? Table being impermanent, table empty of objective reality, and the table made of wood or table not made of wood. All these are the different isolates of the same object. One object can have innumerable isolates. You're getting it? Okay. With this in mind, say the table has innumerable aspects. Now, if you remember day one, we were discussing about, you remember you asked one complicated question, day one, I think day one and day two. You remember?
Whatever.
No. Something which you are able to grab at things. All composite things are impermanent. What is composite phenomena? You remember that? What is permanent, what is impermanent? We discussed that. Okay, now it becomes easy for us. What example did we give for non-composite phenomena? What's the most common example that you heard? Non-composite space. You heard that? Okay, those the beginners, you heard this recent non-composite space. You heard it? You heard it? You heard that? Non-composite space? Good. Okay. Now it becomes very easy for us. Okay, look. The space that you are seeing, how do you know that you can, from, let's say, from you and towards me, you can, okay, stretch your arms in front of me. Very good. You freely do that because you know that there's a space there. You can freely do that. What makes you to know that there's a space between you and me?
Absence of obstruction. Absence of obstruction.
How do you know that? How did you know that?
will be seen.
I can see that. I can see the space with what your eyes can see. What when eyes can validly see, this should necessarily be a composite phenomena. Let me repeat it. What your eyes senses, what your senses can validly. The key word is validly. Otherwise, your eyes can see strange things, hallucination, these things doesn't mean that they are composite phenomena. But what eyes can see validly, they should necessarily be composite phenomena. So this space that you are seeing with the eyes, between you and me, this is a composite space, not a non-composite space. But what you said is with the table, how many isolates are there with the table? Infinite isolates are there with the table. How many agree with this, raise hands? And how you are very convinced of this, not just you agree, but really convinced. Very convinced, yes, it has infinite, they say, the word, isolates. Likewise, the space that you see between you and I also has infinite isolates. Raise hands? Same, it applies to all phenomena. Now, this space that you can see, it has what isolates does it have? Give me some examples. We said it has infinite isolates. What kind of isolates does it have? Give me some examples. Yes, Cyrus?
Absence of chocolate in the space.
The space being absent of chocolate. Space not being a chocolate is also isolate of the space. Maitri? You raise your hand. Yes, I saw your hand. You must be a little bit itching. You do this. Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
Was someone walking through that space also being isolated?
Walking.
If someone walks through this space.
Or the characteristic of the when I say the isolates, it should be the characteristic of the space. Characteristic of that particular space. The person walking is not the characteristic of the space. But the space allowing the space for the person to walk. That quality of the space to allow the person to walk, that is characteristic of the space. Person walking, that's a person, it's not a space. Okay, anyone else?
The oxygen of the that is
The space which allows the oxygen to flow. There's also characteristic. The space, the characteristic of the space to allow the oxygen, to contain the oxygen. There's also the characteristic, yes. Maya?
is an isolate.
Sorry?
The oxygen in there is an isolate of the...
Okay, this is a good question. Okay, I need to think. Anyone, you to help me. Now, this space has oxygen molecules. Oxygen molecules, O2 is there. O2 is there. This O2 in between hanging, is that the isolate of this space, this composite space?
Yes.
Some say yes, some say no. Some say yes, some say no. Okay, let me say the mud, in it there's a pebble. There's one pebble there. It's a mud. The pebble inside, is a part of this mud? It's not a part of the mud. The gold is not a part of the mud. It's not a mud. The gold, it is in the mud, but it's not a part of the mud. Say, if you are deep in the mud, are you a part of the mud? You are not. So likewise, oxygen is like you in this space. Okay, good. Now, we see that this space also has a characteristic. Not to obstruct other things. You not obstruct your hand. You getting it? No obstruction. Which Abhinasha said, no obstruction. So this space also has a characteristic, not obstruct, absence of obstruction. So that is one of the isolates. Out of the trillions and trillions of isolates this space has, one of the isolates is to not to obstruct other objects. So that absence of obstruction is known as non-composite space. This is one of the isolates. Yes, Stefan?
But it obstructs.
Which one?
There is friction.
Okay, friction is not created by the space. Friction is created by this naughty air. Air created this. Air is not the space. If the air is not there, there's no friction. You agree? Air, and you may also talk about air is a major factor, and the gravity. Gravity also responsible. If the gravity is not there, if the air is not there, then there's no friction. Then what is that? Inertia. If one object moves, it moves always at the same uniform speed. If it stops, always stops. You're getting it? This law of the inertia. So this obstruction is created by the air, not by the space. Good. So now that issue is resolved, right? So entity is isolated, you got it. Now, okay. The next is, what next? Entity is isolated, done. Positive, negative phenomena, okay. Positive, negative, this is again another very important point. And you may be wondering, he said, entity is isolated is so important, but then what is the use of that? Right? Okay, wait. First, let's do the positive and negative phenomena. Positive, negative phenomena. Say that, okay, Gabriel, what is this?
Flower.
Flower. Okay, Diana, what is this?
Non-flower.
Nothing. What did you say?
Non-flower.
Non-flower. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wow, this is amazing. Diana made my day. Wow. I was expecting just nothing. That is a non-flower. Amazingly correct. Okay, so in my right hand you have the flower. In my left hand, non-flower is there. Non-flower is there. Absence of flower is there, right? It's the same. Absence of flower is there. Now, how do you know the flower here? And how do you know the absence of flower? You see it. But, okay, now, let's put it a little different way. Say here, when you say there's a flower there, how do you know that there's an object here? There's an object. Okay, this is very important. There's an object here, there's a substance here to say that I am the flower. You're getting it? There's an object here to say that I am the flower. Whereas the absence of flower, there's nothing there. There's nothing in my hand to say that I am the absence of flower. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. But still you know the absence of flower. But here, there's something there. You agree? There's something there to tell you that I am the flower. Okay, so I say, what is this? Pamphlet, not a flower. So these two are different. These two are different. You're getting it? So there's something there. I'm not pamphlet, I'm the flower. There's something there in the object. So this is known as a positive phenomena. Okay, now you have to define what it is. I say, how do you know this flower? That there's something to say that I'm the flower. But with the absence of flower, there's nothing to say that I'm the absence of flower. Then how do you know the absence of flower? You know the absence of flower. Just see if you agree with me. You know the absence of flower by explicitly negating the presence of the flower. Absence of flower. You getting it? You agree? That your mind explicitly negates the presence of flower. That this is how you know the absence of flower. There's no object there to say I'm the absence of flower. But it is only through explicitly negating something that you know the absence of flower. Okay, now, what is negative phenomena? Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes. Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly negating the object of negation. A negative phenomenon is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly negating the object of negation. Now the benefit of, okay, so first is, now, but the positive phenomena is very easy. Positive phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes without. Just add the word without and that's done. The mind, a positive phenomenon is a phenomena which a mind cognizes without explicitly negating the object of negation. That is known as a positive phenomena. Negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly, this word explicitly must be added, explicitly negating the object of negation. This negative phenomena, for example, absence of flower. Whereas positive phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes without explicitly negating the object of negation. Okay, for example, the flower. You don't explicitly negate anything. But negation happens, not explicitly, but negation does happen. For example, when you say it's a flower, this is a flower, you negate non-flower. Without negating non-flower, you cannot cognize the flower. But you don't explicitly negate. You implicitly negate it, you do not explicitly negate it. So therefore, negative phenomena is a phenomena which a mind cognizes through explicitly, not just negation, explicitly negating object negation. This is negative phenomena. How many understood this with hands? For example, like the absence of flower. Now I'll give you some examples and you tell me positive and negative phenomena. Let's say, okay, the root-institute, positive, negative phenomena. Positive phenomena. Okay. Zero waste, positive, negative.
Negative.
Zero waste, positive, negative.
Negative.
Huh?
Negative.
Zero waste box, positive, negative.
Positive.
Okay, zero waste is negative and zero waste box is positive. What happens? Huh?
So what's the concept? And so what box is some object you have different see.
Okay. Okay. So let's absence of the non-box. Positive, negative. Absence of non-box. Absence of non-box. Positive, negative. Positive. It's not a concept. Absence. How not? So when I say box, it should be positive. Is that what I'm saying? Okay. Absence of non-box. Positive, negative. Positive. Okay. Absence of non-box. Is it cognized through explicitly negating something? So therefore it should be negative. Because it qualifies the definition of negative phenomena. A phenomenon which a mind cognizes through explicitly negated object negation. Of course, we explicitly negated the object negation. That is explicitly negating the non-box. We said absence of non-box. Non-box is negated.
But you don't need to negate because you are seeing the box.
No, I understand that. But the box and the absence of non-box, are these two isolated was one different?
Sorry.
The box and the absence of non-box, are these two isolated was one different? Isolated was one different. Hey, all of you, box, you know what box is? Okay, you know what flower is? Box, if you don't know what box is. You know flower? The flower and absence of non-flower. Are these two entities was one or different? Entities one or different. The flower and absence of non-flower. Entity was one or different? Okay, so okay, now look, those who said different, let's say, where's the flower is here, correct, not correct? Where's the absence of non-flower is here, correct, not correct? Hey, I hear Chris and the Titi. Hey, absence of non-flower. Correct. So flower, correct. Absence of non-flower, correct, Chris? Correct. So absence of flower, absence of non-flower, and the flower, these two entities was one. Yes, entity one is different. Shalini. Entity was one, very good. Now, absence of the non-flower and the flower, these two isolated was one different. Huh?
Different.
Hey, Meryl.
I don't know.
Okay. If you're not sure, means these two entities was different. Isolated was different. Because Say, flower is easy, you know that. So if the absence of non-flower as easy as the flower, which means you will say that is easy, you know that. But you say, I'm confused. Which means that flower you're not confused. Absence of the non-flower you're confused. So one gives you confusion, what doesn't give you confusion? One gives you confusion, other doesn't give you confusion, which means these two are astro-wise different. Right? You understand it? So therefore these two are astro-wise different. Okay, so absence of non-flower is a positive negative phenomena. Okay, Diana is saying positive, middle is saying positive. Absence of non-flower. Absence of non-flower. Absence of non-flower, positive, negative. Positive, negative. Chelsea, say negative.
Positive.
Okay. Why you support Gabor? No. Okay. So absence of what? Absence of non-flower. Absence of flower is negative, positive. Negative, Diana. Negative. Absence of flower is negative. Why? Because the mind cognizes by explicitly negating it. Why explicit negation happens? Because of the word absence. You agree? Because of the word absence. So absence of non-flower, absence also there. It should be explicitly negating the non-flower. Then it should be negative. It should be negative. Absence of non-flower also should be negative. It's negative. But the absence of the non-flower and the flower, these two are synonymous, but these two are not identical. You're getting it? These two are synonymous. Whatever is the flower should be absence of non-flower. What is the absence of non-flower should be flower. But this is not identically one. One is positive phenomena, one is negative phenomena. You're getting it? Flower is a positive phenomena, and absence of non-flower is a negative phenomena. Yes?
A table is non-flower.
Tibet is non-flower, yes. Whatever is non-flower may not be negative phenomena. Non-flower per se is negative.
So when I say the absence of a table, actually I'm saying also the absence of non-flower.
When you say absence of table, it is not necessary because the flower is the, let's say, the paper. This is absence of table. But we are not saying this is the absence of non-flower. If it is absence of flower, it should be flower. This is not flower.
But it can be.
No, it can't be. This is a flyer. It can't be a flyer for a flower.
No.
It's not about can be or not. It is or not. Nivita.
Geshe-la, can you explain why flower and absence of non-flower are different isolates? Because I'm thinking in terms of logic. When I learn logic, like not something is the same as something.
This is what I'm saying. These two are synonymous. The logic that you're talking about is that to prove that the two are synonymous. I said these two are synonymous. Synonymous doesn't mean these two are identically one. You getting it?
Can you explain why they're different isolates?
Okay, they're synonymous. It has nothing to do with the logic. You getting it? It doesn't contribute with the logic. These two are synonymous. I'm accepting whatever you are saying. These two are synonymous, but these two are isolated-wise different. How? Okay, mirror. Flower and flower, are these one or different? Flower and flower.
Different.
Huh, that's amazing. This is it. So when people come to Bodhgaya, you know.
Flower and no flower.
So mirror once more. Hey, Nivita, listen. Flower and flower, one different. One. Confusion, no confusion. No confusion. Flower and the absence of non-flower. Little confusion. Okay, you're getting it? So flower and flower, these two are one. These two are one. But flower and absence of non-flower, middle is a little confused. Flower and flower, there's no confusion. Confusion coming from flower or absence of non-flower? Tell me. You're getting it? So it gives rise to confusion. Flower doesn't give rise to confusion. In your mind, confusion given to the mind. So in your mind, absence of non-flower is a little confusing. With the flower, it's not confusing. You're getting these two appear differently. So these two entities are otherwise different. Who said, Okay, Misha.
Yeah, I think the confusion is coming from the difference between non-flower and absence of the flower. Because in traditional and modal logic, so non-flower would be a negation of flower. It would be like the symbol not in front of flower, not P, so to speak. But the question is whether absence and non are synonymous in themselves.
Yes.
So you're saying that absence and non are synonymous?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just negation of the negation of flower?
So, absence of flower is not, listen, absence of flower, absence and non, these two are same. Absence of flower and absence of non-flower, these two are different.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
This is not the problem. This is your problem. Because nobody said absence of non, the absence of non-flower and absence of flower, nobody said these two are same. You are taking these two as same.
Logically,
No, it's non and absence are same, not the absence of non and the non. These are not same. This is your confusion. Okay, yes, here, a young man.
Please correct me. Is it fair to say that the absence of non-power and absence of flower is seen by eyes? It's like the entity-wise, it's one, but like contemplated by mind, like contemplating in my mind, and there are two phenomena coming up by looking at the one entity. So,
Okay, can you break them into pieces because it has many parts? I'm confused.
because in order to explain myself, I wrote it down that absence of non-flower is flower, but seen through eyes, entity-wise, it's one.
Yes, yes.
Contemplate, because I'm also contemplating in my mind.
Very good.
So if the explanation is two, and it can be said that the explanations are like the phenomena, and because there are multiple phenomena, because I'm using two.
Okay, what Lakshmiraj is saying is interesting. Say, when you say flower, how you explain flower and how you explain the absence of non-flower. Explanation is a little different. So because the explanation is a little different, which means explanation is given by your mind. Your mind is involved. So your mind is thinking differently with these two objects. So these two should be otherwise different. Perfect, very good. Very good. Okay, let us listen to Sadvisha.
Absence of non-flower is negative or positive? That's where I'm confused.
Okay, absence of non-flower is a negative phenomenon, positive phenomenon. Is your question? Okay, the answer is negative.
Because I'm negating the negative.
Exactly. Negating negative. But non-flower is negative, and you are negating the negative. You are negating negative, so therefore that is also negative. But absence of non-flower is a flower. It's a flower because double negation is positive. So double negation is positive doesn't mean that negation, however you must say negation, as long as it's a negation, explicit negation, it should remain as a negative per se, negative phenomena, but that absence of non-flower and flower, these two are synonymous. Synonymous. Synonymous doesn't mean these two are identical. You getting it? Synonymous and identical, these two are different concepts. These two are not identical.
Geshe, I have the same question. What is the difference between absence of non-flower and non-flower?
Same. Absence of non-flower and non-flower is same. It's just not flower, essence of non-flower, not non-flower, not essence of flower, all the same. It's just, of course, yes, which means true negation is positive, meaning that non-flower is the flower. Yes.
So when we are defining positive and negative phenomena, if I have to say that the object is the absence of flower.
Say, this book is the absence of flower. Yes.
The book is the absence of flower.
Yes.
So then, if I'm negating that object, does it become a positive or a negative phenomenon?
Which object? The book.
Yeah. The object is the negation of a flower.
So, okay, let's begin with the book absent of the flower. Then?
Then, would that be a negative or a positive phenomenon? Because you're not...
The book being absent of flower, the book being absent of flower is a negative phenomenon. The book
You're negating a negative.
Explicitly negating. It's not just negating, explicitly negating anything, be it positive, negative, non-existent, whatever. Whatever is explicitly negated, it should become a negative phenomenon. Okay, good. Next. Within negative, yes, Iris.
My question was, would absence of non-flower, in simple terms that means presence of flower, but I'm saying absence of non-flower, would that be entity or isolation?
Of course, it's entity. Entity is also isolated. It doesn't mean these two are contradictory. But entity was one and different, and isolated was one and different. These two are not the word synonymous. Yeah.
I thought all negative phenomena would be isolated.
Not necessary. Yes.
So, Geshe-la, you mentioned negating the negative, so double negation. So, it could also be like a affirming negative, right?
Okay, that will come later. Let's discuss this later. Okay, Stefan. Finally, Stefan.
Is it true to say whenever you say absence of, that's negative?
Okay, to make it simple, I will agree with our lawyer. Yes. Because lawyer say yes. Yes. Okay, good. Lipang, you have a question?
Couldn't get what he was saying. What was he saying?
So he's saying that anything, whatever you say something like, you begin with the absence. Absence of something, should it necessarily be negative?
Absence of the absence of.
Okay, I may not agree fully, because absence of selflessness. Absence of selflessness does not exist at all. Because it does not exist at all, it cannot be positive or it cannot be negative. Because to say positive and negative, it should necessarily be existent phenomena. It should exist. If it doesn't exist, it cannot be a positive or negative phenomenon. So therefore, for example, absence of flower, it exists. But absence of selflessness doesn't exist.
It exists in the Buddha.
Absence of selflessness. No, Buddha is not. Okay, let me pass to Chris.
Are absence of non-flower and non-flower two different isolates?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because maybe one confuses me more than the other.
Very interesting. That's interesting. Or let me say water and chew. Isolates one is different.
I think different isolates.
Okay, so chew means water. You get it? Now tell me. Isolates one is different.
maybe in my mind they're now one isolate.
They're one or different?
One.
One. So therefore these are isolated as one. Although labels are different, but the referent is just identical to one. Likewise, so if this is the case, then the flower and the absence of non-flower. Absence of non-flower. So these two, when they come to your mind, the same thing, identical, the two things as identical one appears, or they appears differently. When the flower, you don't negate anything, explicitly negate anything. But absence of non-flower, you do it by explicitly negating something. You're getting it? Particularly when you debate, when you do fast debate, very fast debate, on the spot debating, then people can use this negation so often. And then you say initially your mind hangs. With the double, triple negation, your mind hangs. Literally your mind goes blank. With the flower, it never goes blank. Yes.
Maybe to be clear, because there's something I'm missing. When you, let's say you show the book and you say this is absence of non-flower, you said it's a negative phenomenon, right?
Yes.
But if I show you the book, you will say it's a positive phenomenon.
Yes. No, I didn't say this is positive phenomena, right? I said book is positive phenomena.
Yeah, so how can they be both?
Which one? Book is not negative phenomena. It's not both.
Yeah, you can show me the book and says it's an absence of non-flower.
So let's say this book, no, this is not absence of non-flower. Hey, Gendinla, this is absence of flower.
The absence of flower, sorry, yeah.
This is absence of flower. So absence of flower is the negative phenomena. The book is a positive phenomena.
Yeah, but I can show you the book.
Of course, yes, you are right. So you tell me which one you want to know. Absence of flower or the book?
The book.
Book is a positive phenomena. If you want to know absence of the flower, I say it's a negative phenomena.
And they are isolates of the same entity.
Yes. Yes, finally, Gabor.
Geshe-la, can we say that absence as a phenomenon is positive phenomenon?
Of course it is. Absence exists. But absence selflessness does not exist.
Absence of absence as a phenomenon is also positive.
Of course. Peter.
Should I partially answer the question I had when saying like an isolate of an entity could also be an entity itself, right? Like the leg of the table, it's an isolate of the table, but it's also a...
Okay. Yes.
My question is that I think to Joshua's question, you answered that an isolate can also be an entity, like the leg of the table. It's an isolate of the table, but it's also an entity itself. So my question is does this go like in an infinite way, like
infinite?
So an entity could have its own isolates, and it can...
Of course, yes. So what we said is that anything, be it isolate or entities, should have infinite number of isolates. Anything. Anything meaning, be it isolate or entities. Even the isolates, they have infinite number of their own isolates. Okay, good. So with this, the next is, okay, we'll stop here. Tabge tuje shaye riso chon shenge meto dege bonjamba sege Tabo jebe ko shage gebo kela cha selo mone mahamona eswa Oh Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni 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 Mahamunaya Swaha. Three prostrations together.